Hi, LinkedIn, and hi, Houston. Go Astros. My name is Jacqueline Velez. I'm the Senior Account Manager for Xero in Houston. And I just wanted to jump on here really quickly to talk about conferences, networking, and our upcoming roadshows. I'm currently promoting our roadshow. It's a free event. You get 1 hour CPE. And I get asked what it's about, and I will give you that information. But first, I want to talk about um, I try to put myself in other people's shoes when I'm inviting people to these events. And in my previous life, but as an accountant, and even now, I have kind of a resistance to going to networking events. And now it's a part of my job, so it makes more sense for me to go, and I'm happy to do it. However, when I was an accountant, my life was deadline driven. My life was Excel. It was, delivering to my client. I didn't really see a big value in going to do some networking or going to one of these events. Especially when people are under deadline, under a lot of pressure, I can definitely relate. And just to give you some context, I've been in this role for 2 years. I've gone to several different conferences, and I'm starting to really understand why this is important. Just this past summer, since maybe April or May, I've gone like to maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 different conferences and events for Houston CPA Society. I went to Puerto Rico for their event in September for Colegio de CPAs. I also had XeroCon, which is super fun, as well as Latino Tax. And I really learned like why we do this. And the biggest takeaway that I got was one, yes, your job is mostly to work with your clients to hit your deadlines, but the information that you learn, it's a fast track to learn how to do that work better. So you'll be able to see, so especially for a roadshow, you'll be able to see how our tools, especially our practice management, can directly help you and be able to see that in person and be kind of forced to sit down and see a demo and have somebody explain it to you and break it down. The other thing was that I noticed was there's a lot of opportunity that comes from these events. So especially at XeroCon and Latino Tax, I saw a lot of people connecting and either joining forces in their practices, like sharing clients or just sharing ideas. So one accountant might be struggling with something and another accountant, just talking through it has a solution, and talking to a person about it gives it a different level of understanding. And seeing people at these events speaking about what they've accomplished, they're people just like you, seeing that it's possible, it's very inspiring. So I actually went to a couple of events on my own. I went to Future Frontiers in Austin this past May. And Future Frontiers is basically an event where they speak of the future of tech, social interactions, or the social structure, and healthcare. So just really like what the future might look like. And it's pretty directly related to Xero and my work here, even though it's not an accounting based event. But you get to see what the future is going to look like in business, and talk about Bitcoin and all of that. For me, it was just so inspiring to see what people had accomplished, and that I'm not that different from these people, and to see what they could do. And it really opened up my mind into thinking in a different way, and to be able to apply some of these ideas to my day-to-day life. I also went to a event with Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I'm familiar with his work. He's a neuroscientist, and he has a lot of interesting ideas and books that he talks about. You can look him up. I don't want to get too into it, but he did a speech. He spoke for a few hours about things that I already knew, but or almost verbatim from his books and YouTube and things like that. But the energy in the room, especially when he started doing the meditation, it really changed me and really made an impact. And I learned at a new level, even though I was familiar with a lot of the material. I learned things that maybe I had slipped to me. Also, I was discussing the ideas with people next to me, and I got a deeper understanding and a different perspective of things that I already thought that I knew. As well as when we did the meditation, the group energy was so strong, and I took that with me. So definitely at our road shows and Xero Con and Latino Tax, you can definitely feel that energy and walk away energized, and inspired by what people are doing. So what is our roadshow going to be about? So we will be discussing the vision of what Xero is, because people think that we're just a software, and we're much more than that. So I take my job, I approach it as a consultant. I really have a passion to help accountants, and I'll talk about why, in case you don't know already, for my LinkedIn posts, but I'll talk a little bit more about why. And we really try to help the accountants, because if we help the accountants, they can help small businesses. And if you help small businesses, you're helping the economy, which is helping the world, right? So we'll really talk about what our vision is and how this might help you as an accountant or CPA, tax preparer, or bookkeeper. And we also will be showing a demo of some of our tools. So it's going to have a big emphasis on our practice management tools. Practice Ignition will be there, and we'll be demoing Xero Practice Manager. And I've seen that this is a lot of what the demand is in Houston. Everybody definitely needs accounting software for their clients and their practice, but a lot of practices don't know how profitable they are. They don't know what services they provide. So we'll be discussing our practice management software, which could actually give you some information on some views into what's actually going on in your accounting firm and your accounting business, because your accounting firm is a business. So you want to know how profitable you are. You want to know what's going on. You want to know the holes in the workflows. And like I said, we'll be talking about what we do and how our community interacts. And in Houston, we've actually built up a community of accountants and CPAs. We have about 3 or 4 different ambassadors within Houston, which that basically means that these are users, accountants, accounting partners of ours who love Xero so much that, and on top of their work with their own accounting business, they actually consult with us and work with our accounting partners to give them real life examples and to kind of hold their hand as they go through this journey. Because as you know, the world is changing, technology is changing the world, and the accounting industry is being disrupted by technology. So I think that's it for my rant. I guess from the roadshow, like I said, we'll talk about the vision of Xero, what Xero is. We'll be discussing the community. We'll be demoing the workflow tools to directly help you. And then we'll also talk about some of the product updates that we have. If I forgot anything, I'll post about it in my LinkedIn post. I didn't want to be on here for too long, but thank you for tuning in, and go Astros.